How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. What's everybody up to tonight? We don't have anybody here yet. Got one person. How's it going, Todd? You're the first one tonight. Glad you stopped by. Been missing you in the live chats. What's new with you, Todd? What have you been up to? I just got done recording one more video for you guys. So, we got a couple videos planned yet for this week that are just ready to be uploaded. Next video will be Wednesday, and then we'll have one on Friday. We got the ice fishing video should be Friday. Oh, you just got back from Kyle's wedding? There you go. How was that? Good time? A blast. What's up, North 64? Yeah, so if you guys hear anything tonight in the live stream unusual, my wife and daughter are here. It's kind of a fiasco we've had here this past week as far as the virus goes. We're still clean. We don't have it, but we were around somebody that did have it that tested positive, so we are hunkered down now for 2 weeks. We're hunkered down now for 2 weeks. My wife had to close her daycare for 2 weeks. Yeah, so not much going on around here. Just trying to get as much work around the house done as possible. I've been doing leaves. Cleaned up the garage a little bit yesterday. Did the whole lawn, and it needs to be done again already, believe that or not. Got some ash and some mulched up leaves and some Milorganite fertilizer in the garden. My wife stained the picnic table a couple days ago. Got a bunch of stuff off the deck, put in the shed for the winter. A bunch of toys put in the shed for the winter. My wife ordered a cover for the central air unit. Got that put on today. What else been doing? Yeah, I seen somebody asked if I sold the ATV. Yes, I did. And of course, I sell the ATV, and we're supposed to get up to 5 inches of snow tomorrow. So I'm gonna have to use old trusty, well, it's not old, it's a good snowblower, it's just small, especially for my driveway now. But I'm gonna have to try to use that tomorrow. I mean, the stuff's gonna melt quick, so maybe I won't even do anything with it, but maybe I'll make a video out of it. "27 degrees just south of Madison." Yeah, I think it got down to 21 here last night is what they were calling for. I guess I wasn't up to see how cold it ended up getting, but yeah, it got pretty cold here last night. Here in the extended forecast too, she's gonna get real cold. I think even next week they're calling highs like in the low 30s and lows in the teens, so ice fishing is not very far away. The water temp is gonna drop a lot tomorrow with the wind and the snow we got coming. Somebody said uptown this morning that the water temps right now was like 44.5 degrees, or no, 42.5 degrees this morning. So that's not too bad. Water temps dropping. We're gonna have ice. I probably could have went down to the lake this morning, done an ice report for you guys. We got down to 21. I bet you there was a little skim down there. I had it in July. It was a joke. Day 3 of quarantine, I was drinking beer and watched all the seasons of Trailer Park Boys. There you go. I love Trailer Park Boys. I watch that literally every night before I go to sleep. Um, I have Netflix, but I don't really know why. I literally just watch reruns of The Ranch and Trailer Park Boys over and over and over again. I've watched them all so many times. Yeah, well, that's it too. The people that we're in contact with, they like aren't showing any symptoms at all. They just, had to get tested for whatever reason, and yeah, they're not even showing symptoms. So, I mean, it's not going to be like that for everybody, but a lot of people, that's what it's like. I see Flair. He's a big YouTuber. He's one of the Guggen Squad. He tested positive, and he's got like almost no symptoms too. So yeah, I did. I've been promising everybody for quite a while about the ice fishing maintenance video, the equipment video. I did get out in the garage a couple, 2, 3 days ago now, and recorded that. I got my tip ups out, and I started up the P1 rocket auger. I went through a couple tip ups and kind of just checked lights and a couple liters on the video. I mean, I could have done a lot more in the video, but the video would have been an hour long. So that's about all I got done in the video. The rocket auger started a little harder than I expected it to. I mean, I kind of expected it to start hard because it's been started one time in 2 years. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. How's it going, Perry? The back bays of the Slackish Water and Crivets had skim ice. Yeah. My buddy went out a couple days ago checking trail cams, and he said that there was ponds that had skim ice all the way across them on his hunting land. I don't know how big the ponds are, but yeah, my dog has a water pail that we keep in his kennel outside. That actually had a good amount of ice in it today. That probably had a ½ inch ice. My wife's hanging baskets, those are shot for the year. I kept a bunch of times bringing them in and out of the garage to protect them from the heat, but or from the frost or whatever. But finally gave up on them, and they died last night. That's for sure. Lost a lot of leaves last night too. If I get out once before gun deer, it's a bonus. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be early again this year too. You had some pigs on your camera? Yeah, nice bucks. Last year, ice fishing by the 14th of November. Yeah, it was like around that here too. Maybe a couple days before that. I know. I usually wait a couple days after other people start ice fishing before I venture out, but yeah, 2 inches the last 2, 3 years in a row. It's been by like between the 10th and 12th or 13th, something like that. And I'm predicting it's going to be early again this year. By the end of the month, we got quite a few days in the low 30s and down in the teens at night. It takes 1 or 2 days like that, and it'll start making ice. Can't remember hooking up the bird bath heater this early. Frozen last 2 mornings. Yeah. Yeah, winter's coming on strong here. I mean, having 5 inches of snow on what's tomorrow going to be, like 18th or 19th or something like that. And it's already going to be like the 3rd snowfall. That's pretty early. Bucks, yes, and farm pigs don't know whose they are. Okay. Huh. Yeah, you want to get those contained, they'll turn into wild pigs. My dad said years and years ago, somebody's pigs got loose around here, and there was wild pigs in the woods for quite a few years after that. But I think they all got shot eventually. Bacon back straps, there you go. 2 birds. So it's been a long time since I talked to you, Todd. Are you looking to get any new equipment or anything this year for ice fishing? I'm still waiting on my pistol bit adapter. Uh, Still no confirmation email that it's been sent, so I don't know. I could contact them and cancel it, and I can order it right from the Eskimo website now. So uh, maybe I'll just go that route if they don't ship it here pretty soon. Not that I need it right away, but I kind of wanted to make a video for you guys. I wanted it to be in that video of the ice fishing equipment video, but that idea is past now since the video has already been made. How's it going, Wisconsin Outlook? Trying to get the new American flag tip-ups from Beaver Dam. Oh, I haven't seen those yet. You said they're new. Do you sharpen your own blades? I know Wisconsin Outlook does. I haven't, but I might at some point. I usually just buy new blades. I'm kind of curious about the pistol bit blades. How long those are gonna last me? I haven't checked them out to see how sharp they are for this year. I'm sure they're probably just fine still, but I'm curious as to how long they're gonna last. And I'll have another video coming up for you guys. I'm having something delivered. I told you guys that I sold the 4-wheeler with a plow on it or whatever for cleaning out the driveway, so I ordered something to replace that, and that'll be here. It's supposed to be here at the end of the week, Thursday or Friday, but I'm having something assembled on it, and that might delay it a day or two, but I'm not sure what day it'll be here. Hopefully soon, if we're going to keep getting snow. It's snowing like every day here since like Friday almost. Yeah, it was supposed to snow Saturday, but it didn't, but it snowed Friday, Sunday, today. You been out bow hunting, Wisconsin Outlook? You see anything? We're getting a new mower with the snowblower attachments the weekend after we move into our house. Okay, what kind of snowblower and mower are you getting there, Wisconsin Outlook? Todd shot a doe, there you go. Meat on the table. I'm still waiting to get that venison from my dad so I can do a jerky video for you guys. Didn't get out. Thought I got one of those American flag tip-ups years ago from Beaver Dam. Can't see those flags nearly as well as the red or black flags. I just bought my first, well, I got a couple old ones, but my first Beaver Dam tip-ups last year, those Jolly Rogers. You can see those great during the daytime, but not very much at night, obviously. But I always have lights on at night, so it doesn't really make a difference. about the blue tips, so that helps with the flag issue. Have you used the blue tips before, Todd? (2019) John Deere with a X300 or X350 with a 41-inch blower. Okay, well, Wisconsin Outlook, wait for my video next week. Are you planning on doing any videos on it, on your John Deere with the snowblower? Yes, I absolutely love them. Yeah, it depends on the how you're using them. I guess you have to have them set up perfectly. Um, I would think the vultures are better, but like I said previous times, that just vultures are super expensive compared to the blue tips. I haven't used mine in quite a while now. Yeah, probably, I don't know, 3-4 years probably since I really used my blue tips. When I lived on the lake, I used them every day. Literally every single day I'd have my tip ups out and I'd use those blue tips. I'd be in the house watching TV and stuff and wait for my phone and receiver to go off, but I haven't really used them since then. Had the same tip up alarms for the last 20 years. They still work great, but aren't smartphone compatible, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely had some issues with mine, but I think I was about, I had it maxed out pretty good on the range. Range is about 300 yards if you use the transmitter in conjunction with your phone. Are you talking the, oh yeah, so okay, just the transmitter and your phone? That's way more than I ever got with mine. I don't think I would have got 100 yards with just the transmitter. I had the transmitters, the receiver, and then my phone, and I probably still didn't get 300 yards on mine. But I know they got new models now and new receivers, so it probably is quite a bit better nowadays than the models that I have. I bought the new receiver a couple years ago, but my buddy let it blow out of the back of the trailer while we were going down the road. I never got to use it once, so I kind of just canned the idea. I really don't need them for the style of fishing I do. Maybe if I would have kept my ice shack or something, then yeah, they would have came in handy, but I really don't use them anymore. I'm usually in pretty good sight of all my tip ups and don't have to worry about it. One thing I would like to figure out though is a light system for my jaw jaggers. If I can put those Frables on there somehow, or the blue tips or something like that. Sometimes, well, when we go brown trout fishing, I use those jaw jackers, and a lot of times it's before daylight, so it'd be nice to be able to see when we get a fish on or whatever. I think mine are called Strike Alert. I was lucky I got 100 yards, but that's all I need for the fishing I do. Yeah. Or first strike. Any of you guys doing any small game hunting? I think small game hunting must have been this past weekend or the weekend before. Guys got to be out coon hunting now. We've been out shining and stuff, but haven't came across any coon hunters yet. But I don't think anybody really coon hunts anymore. It's kind of a shame, but I don't do it anymore. I miss it, but I'm kind of glad I don't do it anymore either. It's an expensive sport and time consuming, and you don't get any payback out of it. It's a hell of a lot of fun, but I tried for squirrels a couple times, but that's it. Yeah. I see where I'm at now. I just live right on the outskirts of town. I'm not in the city limits, but I'm just outside the city limits, and We got neighbors all around us, but they're way more spread out than what it would be if I was still in town. And I was out mulching up the leaves yesterday, and right in the middle of the day, I was, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had my mower going, and a lot of traffic up and down this road. Doe and two fawns come hauling ass right down the road in front of the house here. I've seen the doe and two fawns around quite a bit, so I think somebody's feeding them. But there's a hayfield a block away, and you see deer out there all the time, and doe and two fawns. I see them crossing the road just around the corner here all the time. Lots of squirrels, lots of rabbits around here, especially squirrels. They're everywhere. I'm starting to answer the cold coming. I really want to get a deer and some squirrels yet, but once ice comes, I'm more likely to do that. Yeah, I can't wait for ice fishing. Shouldn't be too long. I gotta get through the rest of my gear yet. One of these days, I got all the time in the world now. I just gotta. I got a lot to do around the house yet too, but I want to get something going. You know, I told you guys before, I gotta get something set up in the basement for all my electronics and stuff, so it's not sitting out in the cold all winter. As far as my drills and Vexlar and anything with a battery, really. I'd like to bring my auger inside too, so it has time to thaw out. I'd like to bring my tip-ups inside too, because everybody knows you go up fishing for the day with the tip-ups, and that wet line, you spool it up and you just leave it in the back of your truck. It's going to freeze up, and then next time you go out, you're going to have a frozen solid spool, and you can't get any line off it. So, yeah, I like to bring that stuff in when I'm done fishing, and I talked about this in the video too that I made, that you know, I like to check over my stuff every time before I go out and make sure everything's in good working order. That way, when I get out there, I'm not having any issues. That's one of the reasons I own 21 tip-ups. You know, is I go out and I break a line or something like that. I just grab another tip-up. I don't bother with retying stuff on. I like to get right back in the water. And I can't stand setting stuff up while I'm out fishing. I put the receiver 10 foot piece of PVC, so I was up in the air high enough to get good signal. Yeah, when I lived on the lake, I don't know how high up off the lake we were, but we're on a hill, that pretty steep bank, whatever, that went off down to Prairie Lake, and then I'd be out, say, 100 yards from there, and yeah, probably about 100. And so I had my transmitters up about 6 inches on the flag, and then I had my receiver in a Ziploc bag nailed to a tree. I just reuse the same nail over and over again in the Ziploc bag, obviously, to hold it there and to keep the weather off it. And that receiver was as high up as I could reach it, so it was, you know, way higher than the tip-ups were down at water level. And then in the house, I'd have my cell phone. Obviously, the distance from the cell phone to the receiver wasn't great, because the receiver's up here and my cell phone's down here, say another 30 yards away. But a lot of times I'd be watching for that receiver out the window, and sometimes that receiver wouldn't even go off. And that's supposed to have way longer range. It should have definitely picked up 100 yards. Sometimes that wouldn't even go off. Most of the time it would. But so I always sit in the one chair or whatever, where I could see that tree from where I was or whatever, and watch for that red light to go off. And that way I knew how to fish. That wasn't the best spot in the world. I caught a hell of a lot of walleyes out of there, but I fished a lot to catch those walleyes too. So sometimes I'd fall asleep. I'd be up. Most of the time I'd get my tip-ups, my flags, between 7 o'clock at night would be a hot bite usually, and then midnight. Nothing in between usually. And I'd be waiting for that midnight bite, and I'd end up falling asleep in the chair. I'd wake up the next morning and I'd go out there and I'd have flags once in a while, but never anything on them. It's fun too when it's like 30 below and you have a tip-up freeze in overnight, and you take a hammer out there to beat that ice out, and it's that thick. That's a fun time. Time for you to get a pop air rifle for your neighborhood small game. Yeah, I've got a lot of rabbits and a lot of squirrels around here. I got box traps too. I probably could trap them legally out here. I'm not in the city limits. Something to consider. My daughter would go crazy. Have you seen the new buddy heater? I've seen a review on it and was not impressed. Yeah, I've seen it. Wisconsin fisherman Kyle, he made a video the other day on it. Looks like a nice machine. I haven't seen the price on it. From what I understand, they're pretty expensive. Even more expensive than the regular buddies, I'm guessing, because I've seen somebody post about it on Ice Junkies too, and a lot of people were like, for that price, you can keep it. So I'm guessing they're pretty spendy. I like the design where it is like kind of shooting the heat out 180 degrees instead of just one direction. I assume it's got a fan on it too. I don't know if Kyle touched on that or not in his video. I know like the DeWalt buddy style heaters, those have USB ports where you can charge stuff off them, and they obviously have batteries, and that's got a fan on it too, and they come with a light. So I don't know. Kyle didn't say much about that stuff, so I don't know if it has those features or not. Todd says 150. Yeah, so they look nice, but and I don't think they're gonna put out as much heat as the big buddy heater, from what I understand. So I'm not sold on it yet, but I'd have to see one work in person. Still not sure what the advantage of the new buddy heater is over other heaters. I know you can attach a stove for it, but if that's it, I'll pass. Yeah, I mean, everybody's made stoves for their buddy heaters for years too, so it's $150. Yeah, that'd be a pass for me, I think. I think for the $150, I think you can go get the DeWalt heater, or close to it. Maybe not. Maybe the DeWalt's. Actually, the DeWalt, I believe, runs on DeWalt batteries too. I don't know if you can put D batteries in it or not, but I believe it will run on like a DeWalt 20-volt battery, or maybe a 12-volt. I'm not sure, but it's probably a 20-volt that you could like put in your drills and whatever DeWalt equipment you might have. Like I've got a blower and I've got a weed trimmer and I've got an impact and drills. Happy with old Mr. Buddy heater? Yeah, those things are tough to beat. Even those are a little bit spendy, but worth it because those things last a long time and they work pretty well. My buddy, I've had them before too, just never used them, so I got rid of them. But my buddy's got them in his hunting shacks, and his hunting shacks are probably like 6x6, something like that. And those things will sweat you out of there in no time. They're well insulated, foam insulation, but I mean within a few minutes you're wanting to, like literally 2-3 minutes, you're wanting to take your coat off. It gets really warm in there. Those things work awesome, and you can adapt a 20-pound bottle too, which I'm sure you can the new buddy too, and the DeWalt and everything. But they're pretty useful, pretty versatile. I mean, you can get the big buddy and heat a pretty good size shack with it. You can get the small one and be just fine in a flip over. Can't wait to get my new buddy on the ice. Yeah. My favorite heater ever was made by Coleman. The one you have, Wisconsin. Oh, look, my dad still has it. That thing, so durable. What's the name on that one? I have a Coleman heater too. I think mine's a Power Cat. My dad actually has 2 of them. They run on 1-pound bottles. They got a fan on it and a face about that big. They don't have the BTUs that a buddy heater does, it seems, but they work pretty good. Yeah, it's the same idea as a buddy heater. It's got a fan. They don't make them anymore though. They might make something similar, but they don't make the Power Cat anymore. The sunflower heaters work pretty nice too. I've used those quite a few times before. All I've got for heaters now though is just that one Power Cat. but I don't have a shack anymore, so it kind of just sits on the shelf in the garage. That one too, I got from my father-in-law. He gave it to me, and he kept D batteries in there for Lord knows how long, and they corroded and rusted the springs and stuff inside, so it was shot. You couldn't use batteries on it anymore. So my dad, he's a pretty good handyman. He converted it up with a 12-volt plug-in, so I could plug it into anything with a 12-volt port on it or whatever. So a vehicle or like in my shack that I had, my pop-up camper shack, I had a power inverter in there, so I could plug it into that and run it. I just worry about we're spreading them. It might melt the size of a small one-man flip shack. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure on that. It's a Coleman Focus 5. Okay, I haven't heard of that one. I'll have to look that up, see what it's like. I can't remember the name of it, but a plastic stand, real durable. Tank went inside of it. And it had a push button start to it. They were made in the early 90s. Okay. Yeah, well, if it's the same one that Wisconsin Outlook has, he says it's the Focus. Mine, the bottle goes into. Maybe I'll make a video on it one of these days, or have it around during a live stream. I'll show you guys my Power Cat. I don't know if I ever showed you guys that before. Yeah, it might make an appearance in some of the Ice Shack tour videos that I've made. If you guys want to go back and check those out, I'm sure it's in there. Mesh bulb broke off because it didn't have the protective cover. Okay. Mine didn't have the igniter. Still use the old Coleman white gas stove and lanterns. I love them. Yeah. Yeah, lantern actually gives off pretty good heat too. Good light source, obviously. Those things will actually heat a two-man shack. I still have it in case I get a mesh bulb for it again because it was my godfather before he was passing away. Okay. My dad's got one too. It's a Coleman. It's got a stand that you put a 1 pound bottle into, and then the heater like screws onto the top of the 1 pound bottle, and it's just a face pointing straight up. That one works pretty good too for a small shack. It gives off a lot more heat than you would think it would. I don't know how many BTUs it is, but it gives off decent heat. A lot of times, he's got a pop-up shack. Well, he used to hunt out of my ice fishing shack. Now he's got a shack just like it, a little bit smaller. Way better insulated now, and that's basically all he uses. It's just enough heat to basically keep the windows cleared off, and he's comfortable. Lantern is good for tracking deer at night. Yeah. Sorry for getting here late, but glad I was able to make it for a short time. We'll browse comments to see what everyone is talking about. Okay. We're actually going to end her here pretty quick. We usually shoot for a half hour, and we're knocking on 35 minutes right now. This will re-upload to YouTube as soon as this video is over with. As soon as the live stream ends, it'll re-upload to YouTube, and I don't think the comments will be visible after it re-uploads, but I usually read them all off during the video anyway, so you'll be able to hear what we're talking about anyways. I have a Coleman cat for my small portable, my best buddy for my bigger shack. Both work well, and the little cat heater is plenty for even the big shack most days. Yeah, I like going fishing on the warm days anyways too, so it doesn't take too much of a heater. But alright guys, we're going to end it right there. Thanks everyone for stopping in. If you're new here, subscribe. We're coming out with new videos every 2 days, and we'll see you guys next time.